events and watching Greece and austerity over there and the concern about the dollar, Charles, makes some business owners we talk to just a little scared.
Well, it's understandable because when you don't know, I mean, we had a scare about the money markets, which everybody assumes that's a secure source of money. It's like a bank account, and we had a little bit scared this week. We had a terrible scare, of course, in 2008, where one of them actually went below sort of the $1 mark, meaning that you weren't going to get a return on your money market funds, which everybody assumes is stable. The banks in Europe are dependent on Greek loans. Some of our banks have invested and the money markets here have invested in European loans. So as long as that remains unsettled, it puts a pall on the entire economy. And it's true that large business and some small are doing rather well, at least staying afloat and getting reasonable profits, and that's why the stock market is doing, despite a slight setback, is doing well compared to where it was a couple of years ago. But the problem is, at the consumer level, confidence is low, and that's because we have, as you showed, underemployment of 1 out of every 6 Americans, and that's historically high. And the worst element of that is that among the unemployed, against American history, more than, well, approaching half have been unemployed for over 6 months, and that is historically unprecedented in the United States. It's a phenomenon that is seen often in Europe, rarely seen here. In 2007, the average time to get a new job was about 5 weeks. It's now near 6 months, and that implies there could be a whole segment of the population, the more elderly or middle-aged, who may never get employed again.
So the question is, how to turn that around?
Well, you have 2 different answers. The Republicans argue that if you reduce debt, you give confidence in the economy, and it can expand and reduce taxes as well. The Democrats, I'm not sure, have a good answer. They tried a huge Keynesian stimulus. It had minimal effect. The Fed has stopped easing, meaning printing money. There are no obvious sources of stimulation that, except perhaps, I think that perhaps Obama will suggest a further reduction in the payroll tax, because that would be a way to pump money in immediately. But still, I'm not sure either of the parties has an answer that's convincing enough that will sway the electorate.